Proclamation of the Plejaren Committee.
The flying devices/aircraft, called UFOs, by the human beings of Earth have nothing to do whatsoever with us Plejaren and our flying devices/aircraft. The flying devices/aircraft of the strangers as well as the incidents of any kind concerning them, which have arisen or will continue to arise in connection with both the flying objects and the strangers/foreigners themselves, have nothing to do with us Plejaren. We Plejaren have in no form interfered in any earthly events, nor will we ever interfere, whatever may happen. We Plejaren will not, therefore, interfere in any earthly matters, happenings, or occurrences that may arise in the future, also not in any regard or another concerning the strangers/foreigners and their UFO flying devices/aircraft. With regard to the above proclamation of the Plejaren Committee, it should be added that this became necessary because questions are repeatedly raised as to whether objects seen or sometimes filmed or photographed were Plejaren objects/beamed ships/UFOs. This can, as we have known for some time, be categorically denied. As a rule, these are objects from foreign extraterrestrials or test missiles of terrestrial manufacture. According to the unanimous statements of all Plejaren, they consistently keep their distance from Earth's human beings as well as from other extraterrestrials who have been active in the terrestrial space for tens of thousands of years and who they call the strangers/foreigners. If in the past sightings and photos/recordings of Plejaren persons or spaceships were made, then with very isolated exceptions, which for the witnesses came about through lucky causal coordination, this was exclusively because the Plejaren wanted to create evidence for their presence and consciously permitted or allowed these sightings. Above and beyond that, there have been neither sightings by nor contacts with any Earth human beings or other extraterrestrials, who are neither able to locate the Plejaren nor make contact with them. The explanation for the Plejaren contacts with Billy Edward Albert Meyer is based solely on the fact that he is the carrier of the thousands of millions of years old Nocademian creation energy form, which has an extremely great and deep knowledge concerning the creation energy teaching, in which the Plejaren are interested because this teaching has been taught among them for millions of years. Bernadette Brand, Secretary FIGU Universal Complementary to the above proclamation of the Plejaren Committee, Safar, the twin brother of Svath, made the following statement on August 29, 2023.
However, what I now have to explain with regard to your question is that we Plejaren, and indeed already our earliest ancestors, have remained here on Earth because foresighted ones have recognized that in the far future, the human beings here on this world will get very badly out of the control of the good human nature and indulge in belief in gods and all evil, hatred, killing, revenge, persecution and wars, and thus murdering and so forth, as has already been the case with our primeval peoples, whose most distant future peoples only found true peace some 50,000 years ago, according to the earthly calendar, which had already been striven for over millions of years through the efforts of righteous people and their successors and successors and successors and so forth. And when this finally became reality, the beginning was not easy, because there were still no human beings who really knew how true peace had to be created, formed, and handled. Later, however, this changed when humans and human-like beings developed naturally into beings of peace. We Plejaren, however, do not come to Earth to make contact with Earth human beings, and in fact, we do not want anything from them Just as we do not want to make contact with the strangers, foreigners, as we call them, but we only come here because you teach and spread the teaching of Nocedemian, which has been established since time immemorial, to earth human beings. To do something like this was already decided some 25 million years ago by our distant ancestors of that time. Indeed, even though they themselves had succumbed to the same evils as later the human beings on this world of earth did. But the righteous ones of the peoples of that time already determined the becoming of the mission on this world in this Dern universe some 25 million years ago, and the decision of that time actually endured for 25 million years. However, more than 50,000 years ago, the resolution that had survived until then was taken up, and it was decided that the request that had been made at that time should now be put into practice, and consequently everything was prepared such that that which had been decided could come about. Then everything was arranged the exact moment that the intended mission could begin, and thus the teaching of truth, teaching of the creation energy, teaching of life could find its beginning on this world, which means the real life of the human being, the way he or she should follow, and the value he or she should develop in himself or herself and become a truthfully human being.